8 days later. So I told myself I would film the recovery mission, and I did film this the day I pulled this thing out, but unfortunately the wind was so extreme that just none of the audio was any good whatsoever. For 8 days I tossed this hook around with this snagging hook, hoping to get it stuck on a boat and pull it out. Also tried using my fishing pole. Once I got tired of doing that, I figured it'd be a good idea to mount the GoPro on a long piece of aluminum. I mounted the GoPro on it. I even put a flashlight underneath, and I was even able to film at night. Basically just trying to film the bottom to see if I could spot the boat. Well, I did that for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours yesterday, and then right at the end I put everything away. I sit down in the grass and I look over to the far right, the opposite side of where the boat went in, and I see a piece of white at the end. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's way too bright to be the lid, but I better check it out. Well, I walk all the way to the end of the pond. The piece of white ended up just being a piece of styrofoam. But once I got to the styrofoam at the end of the pond, I look in the corner, and what do I see in the corner? I see a point sticking out of the water doing this. I get a little closer because it looked intriguing. Get a little closer and I see the top of the boat sticking out of the water. Well, I ended up pulling the boat out of the water 8 days later, and this is what it looks like. I can't believe, this is not really showing up on video as good as it should, but I can't believe the amount of corrosion that is on everything. Of course, you would expect it on the drive shaft, but not sure if you could see it all over the motor mount, all over the motor. It's all over the hardware. This trim tab was down like this. I'm not quite sure how that happened. There's rust underneath coming out of the drive shaft on the back. My prop has some damage on the end from when the nose was sticking out of the water. It was bouncing on the prop itself. The speed controller has a tremendous amount of corrosion. The screws are all rusted. The brass or copper fittings are turning green. I just can't believe how much corrosion there's on this thing, and after 8 days underwater. Batteries are so corroded that the wires came out of the balance plug when I tried to plug in the balance plug, just in hopes that there would be any energy left in there. I knew there wouldn't be, but I figured I'd try it anyways. There was no lid. Lid is gone, probably laying on the bottom somewhere. But right here, under the name, was my GPS. I couldn't believe it. It came off the mount in the middle, and it was right under here. I did turn was able to turn the GPS on. It turned on and off, surprisingly, a couple of times. I don't know if it's going to be good in the long run. It was acting a little goofy, so I stuck it in a bowl of rice, and it's been sitting there ever since. I don't know if any of the other electronics survived. I'm pretty sure the batteries are no good. Even the servo has corrosion on it, so I don't know if the servo is going to work. Where's my receiver? My receiver moved. It's under there, so not sure if the receiver is going to be good. Not sure if the speed controller is going to be any good. I did not plug any of this stuff in. I think the motor will still be good. Really don't see why it wouldn't be. I'm going to end up cleaning it up and then lubing, maybe spraying it all with WD and then lubing the bearings real good. But I think the motor will be okay, or at least I hope the motor will be okay. I don't know if you can see this on video, but you can see the mud line. So the nose was stuck in the mud at the bottom of the pond right here. You can see the line where it was. Good news. I don't see, you know, outside of the electronics, the boat's actually in pretty decent shape. So I'm hoping that I don't notice any cracking or any weirdness with the boat, but as far as I see so far, the hull itself is in good shape. But anyways, 8 days later, Bermuda Triangle. Thanks for watching.